You never see Bruni show up to Hardline.
Jackson chose not to come because of the downhill World Cup overall that he has obviously the chance of winning.
He's got to sit out of that one.
I think it's a smart move.
But you also see like the Tour de France, and
Right.
people watch that. Like,
But that's legacy. You know, that's been on for so long now.
but it's so boring. Like mountain biking is way cooler than watching Tour de France.
Yeah, in terms of excitement and gnarliness,
Yeah.
right. There was a review not too long ago, and over half the review, they complained about the rear hub. I'm like, dude, that's not the bike review.
Yeah, dude. Like,
this is a good bike.
It's an E13. Like, it's all good.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Recon MTB podcast. We're on number 13 now, and we have Adrian back. You know, we've never done a podcast together, just you and I.
Yeah. I've been with Alan on the other one, so it's pretty cool to get in here with you. We've known each other for a little bit now, so yeah, it should be cool.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like your podcasts always hit really well too. So I'm excited to be back.
Sick, yeah, that makes me feel good. So.
Yeah, dude. Some of your clips have gone crazy.
Nice.
So a lot of interesting news and events happening right now. Most importantly, Red Bull Hardline. Oh my goodness. I'm sure you've seen a lot.
Yeah. It's an exciting time for sure. I watched the whole thing a couple days ago, and it was pretty exciting.
Right. We're trying to be quick. Sometimes there can be a bit of time that passes between the pod and the events, but here we are only a couple days ago, and I think we'll be able to produce it quickly. So, oh my goodness, Asa Vermette and Louise Ferguson. Wow.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane to see the level of Hardline right now too, because I feel like in the past, you've seen these riders be like, they're kind of not charging the track. They're almost like riding the track for the features.
Because it's that hard.
All these guys are coming from World Cup, and they're bringing that pace into a pretty insane track.
Right. I was watching the POV of, the GoPro of Asa, and I was just thinking, just picking down that track would be crazy. And he is full hard charging.
Yeah.
And the compressions are huge. Like so many flat drop, like massive speed drop. And there was this one lily pad after the big road gap.
Yeah.
They had the lily pad. It's like an on-off, but into a rock garden and off into a rock garden.
Yeah. It was honestly insane. And it seemed like on the race day, like the conditions were like a little greasy almost. Like you saw like a couple of guys like go over the berms and just kind of like wash the front end out. And that kind of seemed like it was like a lot of guys that would made it down like clean had pretty good runs.
It's a little hard to tell, but the wet dirt and dry rocks is actually really dangerous.
Yeah. The rocks there with like, they have like the mossy covered, like they get a lot of moisture in that area they're in. It's kind of crazy that like, I mean, the pace, the jumps and everything on top of having some variable conditions, kind of gnarly.
Right. So a bunch of riders made it down safely. Some, like you said, had some crashes. But one in particular, I want to talk about Lou, the first female to fully finish a top to bottom finals run. Very impressive. And you saw some of the gaps she was hitting. I mean, she must have felt so great after that.
Yeah, that was pretty insane to see. And I think it's going to be cool to see more women come into it and see if they can push the level like she was.
It's definitely tricky because, I mean, we'll get into this with Jackson, but there's a give and take. Like, not everyone will want to do hardline, this hardline, because of the time of the year and just the danger involved.
Yeah, I think even in general, like even the other ones, like a lot of guys will skip out of it. But I think it's going to start to become like a big enough event where they're almost going to have to do it because, I mean, I think downhill will eventually get there to that level in general because people are going to want to see bigger jumps. Like already you're seeing the tracks get gnarlier. They're getting closer to that. So
yeah, and a couple other standout performances. I thought, I mean, performance, I don't know, but Bernard Kerr to crash so hard and come back for finals day, dude, that is so gnarly.
Yeah, it was crazy because I watched the video of him going over the bars in his seat. Was it seating or his qualifying run? I think it was seating.
Yeah.
Right? He was like sitting in an ambulance. And I was like, how is this dude back on the track?
I know, seriously. It makes you think, like, was he really that hurt? But of course, you got to get checked out.
Absolutely. Like if you have any concussion protocol or anything to go through. I mean, I'm sure they're just there to scoop him up and be like, hey, let's make sure you can go right.
Yeah. I always wonder because some of those crashes, you see them just ragdoll head to the ground. They're like, no concussion. Yeah. It's like, you surely have some form of problems, but how well could you hide it for the evaluation, or how badly did you want to come back, you know?
Yeah, he sat in the hot seat for a little bit too, or on the top three. He was, he definitely shook that one off pretty quick.
Right, and then Jackson, that's the big story. Jackson chose not to come because of the downhill World Cup overall that he has obviously the chance of winning. And I think it's a smart move. He could have thrown away the entire season. He has a history of hurting himself at Hardline. And it's a smart move, but at the same time, it's a little bittersweet because you know it would have been better racing. You know that him and Asa have a history with that too, and yeah,
definitely, yeah. I mean, he's gotta sit out of that one. I mean, it's like you never see Bruni show up to Hardline,
Right.
so I mean, he's fighting for that top seat in that, and that I mean, that's gonna take priority over a one-off event, right?
right.
Even though he is kind of like a free ride. I mean, he's got that skill. Kind of like Asa, where they're like super free ridey, can do the tricks and everything.
Right.
It's kind of cool to see that too. I was thinking about that. Like Asa, Jackson, like you're seeing these crazy athletes come through, and like these guys are doing like flips and stuff too. And it's like, what can they not do?
Yeah. It makes us feel like we're doing nothing before.
I know,
it's like,
right?
I could
I'm
just
like-
ride fast. Or like, yeah.
It's crazy.
And Ace's age, I mean, 18, not even in elite.
Yeah.
Jackson always seemed young, but he's like a good few years older than Asa, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Asa's coming on, I think, even quicker. You know what I mean? Like he's just going to get better and better.
Right. It's going to be exciting when he's racing elite. But
Do you think that, I mean, he's on that frameworks right now and it seems like he's like a part of that bike. Do you think that he'll end up with a big one? I mean, it would be cool, but eventually you would think they almost couldn't afford him because he's going to get huge.
Yeah, but part of coming up with a team like that, I think the team can also grow as he grows. They can use him as the proof that they need better support and as like that flagship rider. So it's possible it's like it happens at the same time.
Yeah.
But you better believe he's getting offers. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sure he already has too.
Yeah, and the chemistry looks so good in that team.
Yeah, it really does. And it seems like he's clashing with that bike super well.
It looks like it's a fast bike.
Yeah, it seems like the bike's really good.
People like to stress, bike design, high pivot this, high pivot that. But a well-designed 4-bar bike can just go a long way.
Seriously, yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So definitely interested. I'm very interested in seeing where that all goes. I don't think he's going to change teams. I think it's because he feels that good with that team. With Nico on the bike, he's been on it for years now. Nico's helped bring him to that world stage, and there's like camaraderie with that. There's a lot of like respect, and I think
it seems like they have some good backing from Fox and like some bigger companies too. So maybe they can just keep something really cool going.
Maybe that team basically turns into Asa Factory Racing. Like
seriously.
It definitely could be, and
yeah,
that team will become the avenue to make sure he's compensated well.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to bring up, that's this new channel, Quarter HP. It's Henry Quinney, who's left the juggernaut of Pink Bike to create his own bike reviews channel. He thinks he can take it one step further, make the highest quality bike reviews possible. He posted a couple videos that were pretty impressive, really engaging. They've gotten crazy views and great sort of feedback from the fans. I wanted to hear your feedback on that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I watched the video last night when you told me about it. And I thought it was super entertaining. I thought there was a lot of good information in there. And I mean, I think it has some potential for sure.
Yeah, I was trying to understand what he was doing, and I think I got it. I think he wants to create reviews that, independent of what the bike is spec'd with, he can really understand the bike. So he brought on brand partners for that. So every time he reviews a different bike, he'll have the same parts on. So it's like, makes sense.
Yeah, so he's like controlling, because a lot of times with the reviewers, you get like, oh, I don't like the fork or I don't like that. And it's like, that doesn't really, I mean, all that stuff is interchangeable. And I think that is cool that he's keeping a control, like he's using the same wheels and everything. So that's like, I mean, that just lets you focus on the frame. So I thought that was cool too.
I think it's essential. It's a different type of reviewing because there's definitely like an interpretation of what the brands are trying to do with their spec. But at the same time, judging a bike for how it's built, design, geometry, progression is the most important part because, like you said, consumers will end up changing their own parts. I do it every time. I put the same bars and the same stem on, sometimes the same suspension, so you really just feel the bike in the end.
Exactly.
Same wheels.
Yeah, I like to do the same thing too, and like, I mean, that's kind of every racer would use the same parts and everything. So I think, I mean, it's hard to say because it's still, I mean, when I see reviews, I'm always like, it's one guy. Like, it's so easy, and I talk to people all the time in the stores where they're like, oh, this guy said this about this bike, and that's why I wouldn't get it. And it's like, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt at the end of the day because a review is on the reviewer. Not everybody rides like him, but it is cool to see that he did. It looked like he was doing like he was reviewing, but he also had another guy that seemed like they
He's
kind
like
of
his
gave him
version
like
of
a
the Stig.
no-name.
Yeah.
They gave him like a no-name, no-face thing going on, but he was obviously like pretty fast. I didn't really see too much clips of him riding, but it seemed like he was ripping pretty hard, and then he gave his review too. So you get like a regular guy and a super fast guy, and that's pretty cool that you're like taking more stuff from it, like different riders.
I'm willing to bet. I'm sure there's going to be a betting market on who that is. But I don't think, from what I saw, I don't think it's a reviewer. I think it's a racer local to that, like Squamish, Whistler area.
I'm sure they have no problem finding a ripper.
Right. It might even rotate,
bikes.
honestly. It could be a different person per bike, just with like a...
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what they did with Top Gear at times, too. You never know.
Or is it like somebody so... Like, is it like someone so fast to where he's got his own deals so he can't show his face?
Maybe. Yeah, that could be it
like
too.
If they
because
have
they've
like
got a sponsorship deal.
Like they have like Jesse Melamed.
I bet that's why they have the no face thing.
Yeah, it could be like someone that had a deal with another company.
I bet if we watch them ride enough, this anonymous rider, we'll be able to figure out who it is just by their riding style.
Okay, that's what literally I thought about yesterday, because when I was watching the video, it looked like they only showed like brief clips of him, and it was only like, like the tires slashing out the berm and stuff. And I was like, oh, I want to see this guy ride. So
I bet with enough clips, we're going to be able to see, is it elbows up? Is it, knees in? Like, I know how people ride.
We're skeptical.
Right.
Very skeptical.
It's not just that, but just recognizing who it is.
Yeah.
That's a part of a bigger trend, I think, though, is people moving away from the pink bike style journalism. There's a lot of speculation. Is Pink Bike paid for certain reviews? Whether they're paid or not for production, does that sway how they think of the bike? Does the amount they're paid sway how much, what they think of the bike? And maybe eventually for reviewers, it's too good to pass up that opportunity. But it seems like he's trying to take a fresh take, rely on his components partners, and then do the rest himself.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's, the whole reason behind it. Like, he was in Pink Bike and obviously left, but
probably for some frustrations, you have to speculate.
Probably a lot of these review things are doing that, because like I know some reviewers who are getting a free bike, and it's like if you're getting stuff for free and product floated,
even that's
that
favorable.
Would definitely create some bias.
Right.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, I get to keep this bike after the review, like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a sweet review.
You want more like that, so you just keep it up.
Yeah.
And I think there's a craving for a different opinion from Pink Bike, because for so long it was pretty monotone. Like, they were kind of the only people that mattered in that way. And then there was some other reviewers, GMBN, it's cool, but it kind of depended who you subscribed to and who you wanted to watch. But with different independent media, outlets like that, like Recon a little bit, we're not at all trying to like be in that way, but people are saying, hey, there's actually a replacement for this. Yeah. And they like that. So I think him doing his own thing is really valuable.
Yeah, I think it is different too, because he's taken his own parts too, and like a lot of these people are just taking like the out of the box bike. So that's another.
Yeah, dude, you hate to see it. There was a review not too long ago, and over half the review they complained about the rear hub. I'm like, dude, that's not the bike review.
Yeah, dude. Like,
this is a good bike.
E13. Like, it's all good.
Yeah, at the same time, I think he sees the opportunity with building his own channel, building his own audience, because not only does now he have the upside of that audience, he can scale potentially his income or his reach much further than a regular salary making videos for someone else. Yeah. So I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, I think it's all, everybody has a platform now. So I think it's a smart move too. And I also think he can build something for himself bigger than
it doesn't take a lot
at Pink Bike. So that's, it is cool.
Yeah. To, find brand partners to sustain one person or a small ecosystem of, film or all this, it doesn't take that much. Yeah. But to be a part of a larger organization really caps what you can do.
Yeah. And he can take piece by piece, if he can take brand deals and stuff. But also, the way he's starting it, I'm kind of curious if he can take stuff like that, because I know he's trying to create something new. And if you're
very
taking
high quality.
very high quality, if he's taking too much, then I think that gets into like a weird spot, like we've seen with a lot of these large things, like we were talking earlier, how they're taking deals and swinging the way. I would like to see him stay small, give his honest review, and sustain it that way would be a cool way to do that too.
Yeah, he definitely had a good starting point, because coming from an like GMBN or a Pink Bike ecosystem, you have a big launch pad.
Yep.
You already have a big name. You're respected. You know the entire industry. So it's like this wasn't something he just started in his garage with no partners and has to like fight out of the weeds. You know, he had mega production value from day one. He's probably going to be monetized in no time if he's not already. He's got like only a few videos so far. So it's definitely a huge advantage where he started. And that's going to allow him to get to a sustainable point much faster.
Yeah.
Okay, now America is booming. We had the Monster Energy downhill, kind of looked like a World Cup, but it's a national cup in America. The guys were getting rowdy in the American mountains, our version of the Alps in Utah.
Yeah. Dude, the track looked really gnarly too.
Mm-hmm. It looked high speed.
Conditions were dry, and it looked like it was, I mean, I saw a lot of flat tires when I was watching some of the coverage. So
yeah, there were a lot of spectators. I think one thing to note is like American downhill really lulled for a while. There wasn't a national series until basically very recently. Mm-hmm. They've had a lot of success with that. And they've actually been able to bring a little bit of money in, I assume, with like Monster Energy and the different sponsors that they have. And they have a good turnout because downhill obviously is alive right now. Not everyone can go to World Cup downhills. This is in kind of our backyard. Most people can drive to them. So yeah, they had a great turnout. It looked like really close racing.
Yeah.
And just a good mix of people. So I wanted to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. And it looked like, dude, it looked like star-studded. There was a lot of really good like riders there. Mm-hmm. And it would be really cool to see that explode and like get bigger because, I mean, downhill is kind of what, you know, it's kind of taken over the, you know, the gravity riding. I mean, even Enduro here isn't as big, and it seems like it's taken those guys out of there, and like it'd be cool to see people be able to race that and make a living and stay in the United States because how hard it is to get out to the other places.
I think it's on the way. You know, there are two forces at play. There's force from the World Cup downhill getting harder to access. That's pushing people here. And then that is making the sport bigger and people want to join the national ranks. So I think there's going to be more competition.
I think there's plenty of guys too that, I mean, can jump in from, you know, the East. I mean, we like the East Coast and Tennessee and stuff. There's crazy riders out there and they're just keep producing them. And even out here, same deal. So, I mean, there's probably, plenty of riders to make a really cool race series. So
I didn't see what the pit setup looked like, but I'm excited to see that grow too, because the more top riders are there, the more industry support has to come. So like the SRAM truck or the Fox truck, and that creates a much better atmosphere and a support system for the riders because it's so crucial to have Fox service at a World Cup level or National Cup level race. And when you're starting a series, they're not going to make that spend to come out there without proof.
Exactly too. And I think that really improves like the fan experience too, because I mean, I used to race outdoor motocross and that was like, I mean, half the people would come and they want to see riders in the pits. They want to see all that stuff. And I think if they can like grasp that in downhill and really build like that kind of atmosphere and like make the viewing cool, I mean, I think it could be pretty big.
Yeah. And it's so different than Enduro because Enduro is more, you know, that beginner sport expert level category is so much more important to Enduro than the pro category is really.
Yeah.
You know, gives all of them someone to look up to at the end of the race, but it's participation. You're challenging yourself. You're challenging your fitness. You just got this mountain bike and you want to do this event. So they have their place too. Like we're going to Dodge Ridge for the California Enduro on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's just a super small station, a couple hours from the bay. Sweet. But I think there were like 250, 300 people signed up.
Yeah.
And that's a big event. There's no way to look at it other than knowing it's a big event.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. I mean, it seems like California Enduro is doing fairly well still. I mean, just because there's so many riders here.
It's participation.
I like racing them. They're awesome. But it seems like the BME series, like those guys are dabbling in the Monster Energy Cup, like the
downhill
pro
side,
downhill. Sorry, the pro downhill.
It doesn't seem like that took off, and they started maybe like a year earlier than Monster Energy. So it's interesting. It's like they just try to tack on a downhill race to the Enduro race.
Yeah.
They had a lot of success with Enduro, but it feels like maybe they bit off a little more than they can chew because it's a lot to put together. Two races, same weekend.
I don't know, because then it's taking some of those riders. I know a lot of guys who are just focusing on downhill now. I mean, and then you see like Nick Nesteroff, Aiden, like a lot of guys, and then like Colton, all those big guys that were in Enduro are now like in the downhill stuff. I wonder if that's kind of pulling from the Enduro scene, but also you're seeing a event that's going to be way bigger than enduro because you can't even really watch that stuff. I mean,
Right.
At the pro level, I feel like
at the EDR level, if they're going to be able to do this documentary series, it makes sense. But you can't make a documentary out of local enduro.
No, unfortunately not.
No.
It's still badass, and go to your local enduro races.
Right. You'll have so much fun.
Yeah.
Whatever the nearest one is, it's sweet.
Yeah. I mean, we got 2 enduro guys here, so we love it. So
yeah. Do you think
to see it still going?
Totally. Do you think that Monster Energy downhill could become as big as like the outdoors or something?
I just think the sport in general just can't get to that. I mean,
just because it's not on TV every weekend.
I'd hate to say it. I love mountain biking. It's never going to get to that level because, I mean, if you go to even outdoor, like the level of outdoors, I don't think it's going to get to that level because you can't show up to the race and really watch. Like you can watch 3-4 turns. It's really cool. You
like
got to
10
hike.
seconds of them.
You got to hike up to the mountain. It's still just not the same like viewership, and that's the biggest thing that's going to hold back mountain biking. I think like from it. I mean, I think that has been holding it back because you can't. It's just so hard to watch. I mean, in terms of like watching other sports, it's not that cool, right?
Yeah, that's what I always said about watching mountain bike racing. You kind of have to know. The only one I think could get big, and it's why it is big, is cross country. It's like very simple. It's like watching NASCAR. There's someone in front. There's someone chasing. They're in a fight. It's entertaining. Anyone can see that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I said all that stuff, but you also see like the Tour de France, and people watch that. Like,
yeah, but that's legacy. You know, that's been on for so long now.
But it's so boring. Like mountain biking is way cooler than watching Tour de France.
Yeah, in terms of excitement and gnarliness, you're right. But I have still mad respect for those guys.
Oh yeah, I have huge respect.
I would not want to be in those pelotons, dude. One guy goes and it's over.
Absolutely not. But you know what I'm saying, like viewership wise. But I think mountain biking is always going to be a challenge to get it out to a viewer and kind of put it into a package that people really love to watch. Again, I always explain like your local people like that are buying mountain bikes from the store, they don't even know who these guys are. And with other sports, that doesn't really happen. So
right. Yeah. You know, I was watching the podcast recently with Tom Pidcock. Did you see any clips from that?
I did not.
He was speculating that road racing was gnarlier than mountain bike racing, but he was saying mountain bike racing as a whole, and he was mainly referring to cross country. Yeah. Because he's like, there's less variables. There's just you and your bike and the track. And it's like, okay, but have you thought about downhill? Yeah. Downhill's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like I get it. You wouldn't want to crash in a peloton of 200 people going 60 miles an hour down a road. That's gnarly too. But
I mean, is he saying it's more dangerous or is he saying it's harder? I mean, because that's a whole argument that you don't attack. I mean, it's
right. It's pretty subjective.
Rode road bikes before.
Yeah.
I've rode road bikes before.
It's just two different things. I mean, the gnarliness about that is the other variables, the bikes, the other riders.
I think it's way more dangerous for sure.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that.
But wouldn't a downhill rider crash way more often?
I think give
them more.
I think the like percentage of like what's your odds of getting hurt are probably higher in a downhill, but your odds of having like catastrophic injury or something is higher in road. I mean, even just for your local guy between mountain biking and road, like it's
I mean, for your weekend warrior, the cars are the most dangerous part, and I would agree when you have the cars, but in the tour it's just other riders, but those other riders are sketchy.
I mean, it's all like they're all
together.
So close together. You got to be like completely in the game. I thought about that too, because it's like they have to be so mentally focused to stay in the peloton, not moving around. Like the mental game's probably insane in that. And
focus, staying lucid, not cracking. Like it's all so hard. Trying to eat while you're riding.
Imagine just being like that far into a race, and you're like, I have to be like mentally. I can't just turn my brain off because I'm got a whole pack around me.
Yeah. How many times have I seen a video of someone like head down pedaling, and there's some car pulled off to the side. They're just head down pedaling, and they just run right into it. Like, but you don't want to see it.
I absolutely think that mountain biking's still technically harder. Like you could teach somebody in a year to stay in a peloton. Like it's not
right
in terms of like bike handling. It's not that bad.
Agreed.
So Nick, you've been in Europe and I've been subbing in for you. So what have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been over in Europe a couple times, 3 times now. So jet lag, all that stuff, but it's fun. Out for the team I built back in 2019, Theory Racing. It's changed a lot. It's an Enduro World Cup team. And this year we had 6 races so far. It's gone really well. Just one more week in France coming up that we're getting ready for. And, the biggest thing I'm looking for is Julie, my fiance. She has the chance to be 5th overall in the EDR. And it's just 20 points away. Just needs to push for it.
That's massive.
It is massive. Being 5th in the world is massive. And she's been working so long for it, and so is the team too. So, yeah, back in 2019, I basically left the team I was with at Santa Cruz and started the program with a couple of friends of mine. It was Daniel Self and Brady Stone, some very fast riders I basically grew up racing with them, and it was awesome. And Santa Cruz backed us for a couple of years. We ended up moving to Yeti, which was really cool, and we raced with Bradley Harris. Julie was along for the ride too. And it was cool because I was able to build like a support structure for me and also the other riders because I was still racing in the beginning. And then around like 2022, it made a lot more sense for me to just focus on the team management stuff because I could do so much more for the riders and the sponsors affiliated by just managing and doing logistics and supporting them than I was racing. I was good, but it was clear that I had to have a couple more screws loose to really make it in Enduro World Cup. And I always like to ride sort of more within my limits. And when your limits are X far and I didn't want to cross them and just write myself off, it was like, okay, not going so fast, going fast, but not so fast, at least at a world level. Let's work on this. And it's grown into something pretty cool. We were able to have a few, out of industry partners, tech partners, different bike brands, different tire brands. So I was able to work with a lot of different partners, and it taught me a lot about, business management, sponsorship, being a racer, being, sponsoring racers, kind of both sides to that. So
yeah, it's been really cool. I've been watching your team for a couple of years now, and it's really been cool to see your progression. And like your guys' setup, in my opinion, it looks the sickest out of any of the teams out there too.
This year, it's kind of the biggest, honestly, because there's been a couple teams pull out of Enduro with sort of the choppy waters, and we've stuck through. And just, by chance, we got one more tent, and all of a sudden we're the biggest. Yeah. And we're just out there trying to have a good time.
So what's your plan from here? Like, what's the goal with the team? What's your future? Are you gonna stick to Enduro EDR? Are you gonna try to dabble in downhill? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, it's a hard question to answer. At the moment, we need to have significantly more sponsorship to make it work financially, and it's exactly now that time. So if you want to sponsor Theory Racing, hit me up. We'll make it work. But it's very uncertain. We want to try to continue in some capacity. We have a pretty cool development team affiliation with the Speed Project. And we made a cool video on that we'll put out soon. And no matter what, they can be out there racing and flying the flag. For me, the most important thing is making sure that those guys have the support they need and the equipment they need. And then also Julie. And whether that's racing full World Cups, whether that's racing in California and doing a couple of the best ones, I don't know. But at the same time, I'm juggling a lot. I have Recon, I have the podcast, we have all this stuff we're working on. So I just need to make sure it all makes sense within that lens.
Yeah.
One thing I'm really proud about is we had a junior world championship. Bailey Christie last year got the under 21 Enduro World Championship title, or World Series title. There was no U21 World Champs at the time.
Yeah, you got a couple injuries too, right? During the season.
Yeah, this year coming up, he went from U21 champion to elite. Super proud of him. He went directly into the top 10 elite, which like almost no one can do.
That's insane. Yeah.
And it's just tough because Enduro is, and especially how the team is built as an independent program, it's really hard to have the right amount of support because brands, when they get into Enduro, they want to own the entire structure. They want to say, like, if we're getting into this, if we're going to put that sort of money, we need to make sure we're controlling everything. So it's a little bit hard from the start, but it also adds the flexibility that when a brand believes in us and our vision, that we can do our version of our best for those sponsors. And that's usually what they're sold on is they like what we've done in the past. Let's go. And but yeah, unfortunately for Bailey, just bad injury this year, broke his elbow pretty recently. So he's out for the season. But I'm stoked to see, his future too. Like I said, I don't know exactly where the team's going, but we're just hoping for the best, working for the best, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I'm here to watch it. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, everyone. That was another great episode. Please, if you're not subscribed, most of the people who listen to the podcast aren't subscribed. So fix that. Check out reconmtb.com. shop for your mountain biking products that you were already going to buy. You have a chance to win a bike. Recently, Kate Matthews from New Jersey won the Forbidden Dreadnought V3. She is stoked. Getting her set up with that bike, and it's going to complement her cross-country bike. She ordered a pair of PNW pedals, just like $100 on some cool pedals. She won a bike.
Wow, that's insane. I'm so jealous of that she got that bike.
I know.
I thought that was the coolest
I think a lot of people are jealous.
Yeah, I thought that was the coolest bike ever.
Yeah, and keep your eye out. We're continuing to produce sick content. We may be moving studios, so keep an eye out. You'll see a setting change. And there's a lot of exciting stuff to announce about that in that space, but I won't tell you too much right now. And yeah, we could have maybe some bikes for sale soon on Recon. Maybe.
Nice.
Keep an eye out. Watch the site. You'll see them when they're up. You'll hear about it for sure. So thanks everyone for coming. Thanks, Adrian.
Awesome. Thanks for having me again, Nick.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks.
Tune in again. See ya.
Appreciate it.
The height of the seat.
Oh.
The dropper post.
Dude, I'm way too high, huh?
No, you're good.
Oh, you like that?
Let it go. I know what's happening.
Yeah.
This is exciting. You know, camera's just turned off. Just now.
Far more dangerous. I don't think it's more technical.